The decision has been reached and there is no turning back. Man United head coach Ruben Amorim, together with his team, that's the sporting director, the technical director, and the CEO, have agreed on players who are going to leave Manchester United. But who are they? Here are the guys that I suspect highly to be on the list. Some of them might annoy you because I know you Man United supporters are a bit lenient, you are so forgiving and too patient at times, especially with players. I only wish Man United fans were as patient with the coaches as they are patient with players. But guess what? Already there are Man United supporters out there who are calling for the head of Ruben Amorim, and I'm thinking, guys, what are we up to? What's happening? Welcome to the United Sport. My name is Webb. Like, share, and subscribe. And this is a quick list of players who are leaving Manchester United. Number 5, Casemiro. It's done. Decision has been made. And the performance against his underwhelming performance against Ipswich, where he was among the first players to be pulled off by Ruben Amorim, is evidence of his time being out. Never mind him still having about 1.5 years left on his contract, because his current contract runs out in the summer of 2026. So after this summer, it will be one more year for him. Remember, he signed a 4-year contract worth 72.8 million US dollars when he joined Manchester United, with an annual salary of 18.2 million US dollars. That's his annual salary. So in 4 years, that's 72.8 million US dollars. That's the money that Casemiro is earning. Carlos Casemiro. Did you even know his full name is Carlos? But listen, the reality is, when he joined, Casemiro was a good player. But clearly, with the football we are trying to play now and the energy it demands, Casemiro is not good enough. He's not good enough for it. So he's definitely going to be leaving Manchester United, and there is no turning back. Now, in terms of who will replace, I'll drop my next video to explain to you the players that are being looked at to replace the players who are leaving. And remember, it was made clear by Amorim he will have a lot of say when it comes to transfer talk. They agreed on this, but also he will certainly make sure they change the transfer policy at the club. But guess what? Some of the players are already at Man United. They are from within. I'll tell you who they are in my next video. Number 4, the other player who is going to leave, this might not surprise many of you, is Christian Eriksen. Do remember that Eriksen signed a 3-year contract, and he's earning an average salary of around 7.8 million US dollars. And in 2024, this year, he's earning a base of 7.8, and that's his wages. That's a total of about 23.4 million US dollars. That's his wages. But honestly, guys, let's be honest. Where is value for money? We got him as a free agent, but where is value for money? But anyhow, his contract is running out. He is ending this summer, and he will leave as a free agent. So he will leave in peace. Served his 3 years, go add it on your CV that you played for Man United. I, again, don't want to go back and forth about the justification. I think we all agree. We saw the two of them were exposed, by the way, in how slow they are and how not ready they are for the Ruben Amorim intensity of football that he demands. Yet the midfield is supposed to be important. You saw how Ugarte came in and brought the life in the middle there. That's why, in my view, before even thinking of a striker, the one department that Man United needs to boost for Ruben Amorim is the midfield. I'll tell you again further later why I think so. Number 3, player who should be leaving, who will be leaving Manchester United in the summer, is Victor Lindelof. Are you surprised? Are you surprised? Are you surprised? By the way, these are not players you should. I'm telling you these players so that you don't sit back and feel disheartened and feel angry about them performing poorly. Now, they shouldn't give you a headache because they are leaving anyway. They are in the last days of their time at Man United. The only reason they're still here is because there's no transfer window now. Some of them could even leave in January. Victor Lindelof, that's the number 3 player, whose contract runs out in 2025, in the summer of 2025. And remember, in January, Lindelof can start talks with other clubs For Lindelof, there is no turning back. He's going, and sadly, he's still injured now. Got injured with the Sweden national team. He's going. There is no other way out for him. So Lindelof is the other. The other player, number two, is Harry Maguire. Harry Maguire will leave Manchester United in after his contract expires. That is in 2025. It also runs out in June 2025, and mostly it's because he's never fit. He too will never be fit again. So his time as well is numbered. And remember, Amorim's system depends a lot on the backline. You need to have your a backline if you're going to play back three. They have got to be on point in terms of everything they do. Just the way you see Nusa El Mazraoui. That's how they're supposed to be switched on. Now with Lenny Yoro coming in and picking fitness, Luke Shaw looking impressive and impressing the manager or the head coach, Harry Maguire has no room. That has been done. And remember, he's a top earner. He's a top earner, earns a lot of money, just over £250,000 per week. And Lindelof earns about £120,000 per week. But for him, that's way too much. There's no value for money. So he too is leaving. And the number one player who will leave, of course, the other one will be a bonus. And I'll tell you why the other will be a bonus. This is the number one player who will leave Manchester United at every cost, even when some of you will be angered by what I'm about to say. He scored the only goal so far scored by Ruben Amorim's team. Marcus Rashford will be leaving if Manchester United get a buyer. Marcus Rashford will be leaving if Manchester United get a buyer. He's got a long contract. This is the issue. This one is tricky, and that's why I ranked him at number one, because his contract is tricky. His contract runs out on the 30th of June, 2028. So meaning he's got about 3 years left on his contract. Now, that's a lot of more than 3 years now. That's a long contract to undo. It's a difficult contract to undo. Now, what is going to happen is that Ineos are going to try and give him time to try and help him get back up on his feet so that he can warrant a transfer, that a club can come out there and show interest in paying some money. Because with a player on such a big contract, first of all, they don't want to leave. But if you force them out, they're supposed to leave for a reasonable fee. And the reality is, with his current attitude, not so many clubs would be willing to pay money for Marcus Rashford. But Amorim knows well that he is not in his future plans. And the money that United could collect from the sale of Marcus Rashford could be good to buy a replacement for him. Because remember, Man United might be in a sell to buy situation in the next summer. So Rashford's situation is a bit tricky. And I know there's fans out there who will go, well, what are you talking about? Hell, they'll abuse me and stuff. But let me tell you, this is a new era. It's a new dawn. First of all, they are going to try and cut on the wage bill. That's one. But also, they want young players who are hungry, who are trainable, who are teachable. You know that Rashford is not really interested in playing as a number 9. But in the Ruben Amorim system, there is no other place for him to play. There is no other area for him to play. So Rashford is one of those players who will most likely depart Manchester United. Of course, the bonus is an obvious one in Johnny Evans. Well, for Johnny Evans, he could be kept around as a coach or maybe, but with Ruben Amorim and the things Ineos wants to do, they don't want to keep around so many people. They want to be as effective, get proper value for money, keep around people who are going to give you proper value to improve the squad, because that's their biggest objective, to improve the squad. So those are the players who, without a shadow of a doubt, will be looking to leave. The only complication might be in Rashford because of his long contract and the lack of maybe clubs that could be willing to give him a way out and try to match or give him anything close to his wages. But the system alone is going to frustrate him, and trust you me, he too might push to leave the club. Now, I gave you a list of, for those who are 6, should have been 5 and a bonus of 6. But of course, there are others now. Now that's the A list. Now there is a B list of players whose futures are, hanging in balance. There's another list of players whose futures are they are not certain whether they will stay or not, because they also have to fight. And you can imagine that we're talking of players like Anthony, talking of players like Garnacho himself. He could be sold whereas he has a contract running in until 2028. He too has got to work a lot on himself. He could be sold. The beauty is he's young, and there is a feeling that he can be trained. You saw how he improved a little for Ruben Amorim. He wasn't there, but at least defensively he was trying to contribute. So but he's young, so you don't really write off or rule out a young player with a lot of potential. So that's again the uncertain list. If he doesn't work on himself, Garnacho could be joining the departing list. I will be giving you now the players that are most likely topping the list of those Man United will bring in, based on, of course, those who could be heading out. So, guys, just be patient. Ineos is on the wheel. They have a plan. Trust it and stick with it. My name is Webb. Like, share, and subscribe. And let me catch you later, fam.